Hey, this is a friendly reminder not to take yourself for granted. I want to say it louder for the people in the back. Do not take yourself for granted. Don't wait for the world to validate what you already feel about yourself. Feel it first and the world will confirm it. Doesn't matter what you're going through, what you hear, what noise you hear, what gossip you hear. And on some days, what we tell ourselves. And I feel often that's why we take ourselves for granted, because we're listening to the wrong things we tell about ourselves. And it's easy, right? You get into that mood where, things aren't going too well. And it's very easy to listen to the thoughts that come in. We don't listen to the best version of ourselves in our heads that reminds us of who we are and what we're capable of doing and what we're able to accomplish. And I know you know this. Sometimes the setbacks that we face in life aren't setbacks. They're just generally set-ups to help us prepare for where we need to be. There's this one affirmation that I love that it goes, how does it go? In my world, nothing ever goes wrong. Anything that comes along our way is meant for us. And truly believing that. It's interesting because we always hear not to take other people for granted, but I feel like we don't remember not to take our own selves for granted. And I think this comes from a shift in seeing yourself as just yourself, but also seeing it as someone you have a relationship with. When you have a relationship with yourself, it's very easy to take yourself for granted. The same way you could view taking somebody else for granted because they're outside of yourself. But because we're always so close to ourselves, it's hard to see that same separation between who we are and who we could be. And mutually, they're the same person. Technically, they're the same person. Those times when we want to be defined by title, accolade, these things kind of create a distance from remembering who we are and where our source is and where our power really lies. It's not in the things that we hold, but it's in how we show up to the world and how we show up and impact people's lives. And I think, at least for me, I'm trying to remind myself that should hold more weight than the external factors. I'm trying not to take myself for granted every day. It's a blessing to be in my own company. I know that may sound arrogant or egotistical, but honestly, it's a blessing to be in my own company. If I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't spend so much time with myself. I think in this practice, and I'm pretty sure you're pretty similar, where you're pretty comfortable in your own skin and you spend a lot of time with yourself, but it's also easy to be hard on yourself because you spend a lot of your time yourself. The way you talk to yourself may not be as kind because you spend a lot of time with yourself and you're familiar with yourself. And in turn, we tend to take ourselves for granted because of those aspects of the closeness that we feel with ourselves. Separate from yourself to remind yourself of who you are and what you're capable of, and take some time of reflection during these tough moods. Everybody's going through a tough time, and I feel like that's okay, that's perfectly fine, but it's how we navigate through these tough times that are really telling of our character and who we are. It's not the sunny, bright days that shape and make who we are. It's the rain from the middle of the storm. Shameless plug, I have a song called Middle of the Storm, check it out. But it's the rain from the middle of the storm that really helps us grow, and then the sun helps us shine through that. But we need the water from the rain to make our skin glisten and glow. Without the rain from that storm, we're not growing. Shine in the storm. Just because the sun's not visible doesn't mean the sun's not there. It's only the clouds, which are our thoughts, that prevent us from seeing what is true. Remember that you're the sun and not the clouds. Remember that you are the sky and not the clouds. Remember, you are the thing that does not move on a day-to-day. Our emotions shift, but we ourselves don't shift. Our highest ideal does not shift. It's our thoughts that shift in relation to that. And I know that throughout the things that you're going through, that it's not always easy to find peace within the chaos, but the peace is always there. I know that sometimes external validation is how we seek to self-validate and self-actualize and be like, hey, this is actually who I am by how other people view me. But other people don't really know us. And there was this one question that I still have yet to answer, and it's, can we ever truly know someone? We don't really know other people, so we can't always use their words as a credible source of validation. That's why it's so important not to take our own self for granted, because we are the ones who are able to really compliment ourselves in a way that we wanted to be complimented. Check ourselves in the way that we want to be checked. But it takes a high level of awareness. It takes a high level of emotional regularity in order to know, am I just being too kind on myself? Am I being too hard on myself? Do I need more love from myself right now? And without that awareness, without that ability to understand, where am I at? Why am I feeling what I'm feeling? Where am I in relation to where I want to be? How can I get there? Instead of just letting the chaos of the day take us, if we can really sit with what we're going through, I feel like that will really make us not only more proud of who we are, but also more at peace. And I think that peacefulness and that gratitude will allow us not to take ourselves, our time, our energy for granted. I know that everything happens for a reason, and I'm very grateful for that. And I feel like I've heard that 1,000 times. Cool, that's fine. It's just believing it makes it more real. Some things hit different at different periods of time, and I'm trying to acknowledge that and resonate and work through that and find peace in that. And I know life is going to be more demanding of me. So the things that I'm going through right now, even though they phase me, they will not stop me. Because what I want out of life, life is going to demand more out of me in order to get it. So I have to find peace in the chaos. I have to make my way through the middle of the storm. Another shameless plug. I have to make my way through the middle of the storm to get to the eye of the storm where it's peaceful, where chaos is all surrounding me, and that I'm able to find peace in there and navigate through the storm by looking up and seeing the sun. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope that was helpful. By the way, I was able to find a breakthrough with my song. So today at lunch, I was working on my song and the ball's rolling. So new songs coming soon, guys. Keep an eye out, keep an ear out. Got more work coming and try putting out more content more frequently. So hopefully that's helpful, but love you guys. Take care. Stay tuned. Take care of yourselves. And don't take yourself for granted. That's all I have for today.